back to CREED News Hour, where our cryptid and paranormal stories come directly from you, our viewers. Settle in as we take you to a personal account of the things that go bump in the night.
Let me tell you about the time I stayed one night at the Cecil Hotel by accident. I told the story years ago on here, but it's really far down on my page, so I'm retelling it. So back in 2016, when my husband and I were dating, it was Halloween weekend, and he invited me to go to LA for a League of Legends tournament. So I agreed to go. I had nothing else to do for that Halloween weekend. So he took care of everything, the hotel, and paying for everything. He did send me a photo of the hotel, but looking back now, I see why the website only showed photos of the lobby. And from what we could see in the lobby and the photos on the website, it looked nice. So we drive down there, and as we're pretty much approaching the hotel, I'm like, ooh, because it's downtown LA, and my husband and I are from Northern California, so we don't know much about LA. At the time, I didn't know that downtown LA looked like that. But it was too late, so I just figured, it's fine, whatever. So we go into the hotel, and the lobby looks nice, like how it did on the photos. We get to the front desk, and they were a little odd, but whatever. We get to the front desk, they give us our keys, we get in the elevator to go to our room. Elevator kind of had a weird vibe, and we go to our room, unlock the door, and there's a man in the room. So never in my life or my husband have we ever checked into a hotel, ever, and went into our room and there was somebody already in there that wasn't like the staff. So we're just standing there just in shock, quiet, because with the door open, and the man is okay. So I recently asked my husband about this, and he said that the man was looking in our direction but not looking at us. I remember that he wasn't looking at us at all, but he did not acknowledge us at all. He didn't say anything. He didn't yell. He didn't jump. He didn't do anything, which you would think a loud hotel door opens when you're in your room. You would think you would react. He didn't react at all. He was like packing, and he had a suitcase, but it wasn't like a modern looking suitcase. It was kind of like what you see on TV, like when men have like a briefcase and they just pack like a pair of pants and a shirt and it like folds clothes. And we remember that he wasn't he was like barely dressed, and what he had on was like odd. He was wearing like those old man like stocking sock things. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyways, it feels like we were standing there for a long time and just staring, because we were just totally in shock and we didn't know what to say, because he also didn't say anything. So we just close the door, turn around, go back to the lobby, and we're like, hey, there's a man in the room. And I still remember the girl's face, and she was looking at me like I was crazy because I told her there was a man in the room. She didn't say anything, and she just went and got the manager. The manager just kind of went on the computer and gave us another room, and she said, you'll be the only ones on the floor, which I thought was weird. Like, why would you tell me that? But maybe she was just saying that to reassure us that no one else would be in the room and we wouldn't have the same thing happen. But I did think it was interesting that they didn't try to like argue with us when we told them that someone was in the room. They didn't say anything. They didn't say anything back at all. They just gave us a new room with no issues, no arguments at all. So we're like, that's weird, but whatever. We go into the room. It's already getting late. We hurry up, get ready, go to the tournament, have a good time. We go to dinner after. We're back at the hotel probably around 11-ish or midnight. I don't really remember, but I do know that it was late. So we go to sleep, and the first thing, we're sleeping, and I wake up because I'm hearing tapping on the window, just like tap, 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 over and over. To the point it wakes me up out of my sleep. And I'm still in bed. I didn't wake my husband up, but I'm just staring at the window, awake. And I'm like, what is doing that? We're higher up in the hotel. It's downtown LA, so there's no like trees. So there couldn't be a branch that's tapping. It can't be a person that's tapping. Possibly a bird, but birds aren't really, city type birds aren't really out at nighttime tapping on a window like that. So I thought that was a little weird. And then I can't remember if I went back to sleep and then woke up or if it happened right after. But the next thing that happens in the middle of the night while I'm awake is I hear children running around the hallways. And that really scared me. And I'm sleeping on the bed closest to the door. So I'm just staring at the door thinking, is someone going to come in here? Because one, she told us we were the only people on the floor. Two, it's like probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning. What would children be doing at this hotel? And if they're at this hotel, why would they be up at this hour running around the hallway? And I could tell it was children because I could tell by the weight of the feet. It didn't sound like an adult running. It was children running around the hallways. And I was just up staring at the door for what felt like a while. And then I just was like, what am I going to do? Whatever, like just go to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I remembered that I was having weird dreams, but as of now, I can't recall what they were. I can't remember if at the time I remembered the dreams, but I knew that I had weird dreams. Not like, I don't even know if I wanted to call them scary, but they were just weird. I really don't know how to explain it. They were odd. And I told my husband everything that happened while he was asleep and I was up, and about my weird dreams. And he said he had weird dreams too, although he didn't experience anything weird. And my husband is not, at least at the time, he was not someone that believed in the supernatural at all. I very much believe in the supernatural. He did not at all. But so it was surprising that at the hotel, even he had weird dreams and just a weird vibe about being there. So it's the morning time and we're talking about what happened, and we're immediately just like, let's get the hell out of here. Like, this place is weird. Like, we have to go. And I remember we didn't shower. I didn't brush my teeth. That's gross. I'm sorry. But I just threw on my clothes, grabbed my stuff, and I was like, let's get out of here. I don't even care. I just want to go home. This place is freaking weird. So we're on our way back home, and it's Halloween weekend. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but it's Halloween weekend. So it's now Sunday, and my friend texted me and she had asked me, how was my weekend? What did I do? And I told her, I went with my husband to this video game tournament and we stayed at this hotel, but some weird stuff happened. And she asked, which hotel were you at? What's it called? And I told her we stayed at the Cecil Hotel. And she's like, you do know that hotel's haunted, right? There's a whole season of American Horror Story based off of that hotel. And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm looking up stuff at that point and I'm seeing how it's like one of the most haunted hotels and all these crazy articles. And I'm like, okay, that explains it. And to add to that, recently, and I posted this on my TikTok a couple of weeks ago, there's a woman on here, I can't remember the creator's name, but she has the ability to take what she calls it as taking a peek at the afterlife, and people request, usually celebrities, for her to take a peek at. And recently she took a peek at a location, and that location was the Cecil Hotel. And I came across that video, and one thing she pointed out was that when she took a peek, she saw children running in the hallways. And I saw that and I immediately was like, okay, I was right then. I wasn't imagining things, and I knew I wasn't imagining things at the time. I'm very sure of myself when stuff like that happens, but it just felt odd to hear children running around. And I didn't want to think that it was something supernatural, but after seeing that creator's video of her saying that she saw children running around at the Cecil Hotel when she took a peek, it totally just confirmed it for me. But yeah, that was the time I accidentally stayed at the Cecil Hotel. My husband and I still talk about it from time to time. And years ago, we were talking about it after. And we were like, was that a ghost about the man in the room? At the time, we didn't think anything of it because we didn't know the history of the hotel and all the other weird stuff hadn't happened yet. But looking back and putting the pieces together, it was weird that he never acknowledged us. People always say ghosts, they never acknowledge you. They're going about their business. And when we told the front desk, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't argue with us about it. And the whole encounter was just weird. And so now we're like, could that have been a ghost? I personally believe that even like when we go to the grocery store and things that we do in our daily lives, we probably have seen ghosts but not realized it. And I think that may have been one of those instances that we just were watching a ghost and didn't even realize it.